Yo guys, what's up? It's your boy TRUEDBZ back with another discussion video. In today's video, I will discuss my top 5 nerfs and buffs I want for characters in the upcoming Dragon Ball FighterZ 1.34 patch. Before we get into today's topic, please hit the like and subscribe button at the end of the video. It does wonders for the channel and helps me stay motivated to create more content like this. Also, be sure to check out my links below. In the description are my links to my socials, including my new Discord server, the True Community, my channel artist page on Twitter and TikTok where he posts his artwork and commissions, and my playlist that provide more of my content. Without further ado, let's get into today's topic. EVO 2024 has recently ended. It was a fantastic show for all the games that appeared, especially the main stage games. Sadly, Dragon Ball FighterZ didn't make it. To refresh everyone, a couple months before EVO, the producer of the Dragon Ball FighterZ team, Tomoko Hiroki, announced that after the event, we would get another balanced patch in celebration of the Dragon Ball FighterZ 2024-2025 World Tour. We have no idea how the team's mindset is going forward into this next stage of Dragon Ball FighterZ. Will the patch be focused on system mechanics, nerfing top tiers, buffing low tiers, or adding new mechanics to shake up the game? Anything is on the table. In this video, I like to throw out my ideas for what I want to see in the game. I'll be focusing on character changes in today's video. I also have a companion video going over system mechanic changes. The link will be in the description. This topic is probably more contentious than my system changes video, because most players never discuss how the system affects the cast. Most of the time, players complain about the cast on how they jeopardize their playstyle or are responsible for why their character sucks. Trunks and base Goku. My goal here is to not giga buff characters I like and giga nerf characters I don't like, because A, that's not fair to the people who like or dislike those characters, and B, it would be disingenuous to say that my likes and dislikes are the true objective way the game should be balanced. I want to be realistic and fair to everyone. As a disclaimer, this is my opinion, and I am not a pro player or developer, so my viewpoint will be different from most people who consume Dragon Ball FighterZ content. Still, I hope you guys will at least hear me out, and if you disagree, agree, or fall somewhere in the middle, please leave your comments down below. Now let's get into my top 5 nerfs list. Number 1 on my nerf list is Cell's 214H, called Perfect Attack. Cell's 214H has been a pain in everyone's butt for the past year, and now it's time for it to go. As the game stands now, Perfect Attack is a 12-frame startup, frame 1 anti-air reversal that also sets up a 4-way high-low left-right mix-up with most assists on the game. Perfect Attack is quite literally a perfect attack. Fast startup, great anti-air, a mix-up tool, and has great neutral presence. My changes to Cell's 214H is first to increase the head invul startup to 4 frames instead of 1, and spawn Cell farther away on block so he cannot get 4-way mix-ups for his opponent blocking a reversal. On a side note, it's crazy how they made 236H and 214H 4-way mix-up tools, but I digress. Anyway, Cell will still be strong as he has great normals and conversions, but he'll just have to think more on defense. Number 2 on my nerf list is Nappa's 214 special called Cyberman. Cyberman is the most powerful special attack in the game. It's a summon that acts independently of Nappa. Cyberman has attacks that ground bounces, forces the opponent to stand in place when hit, and can only be interrupted by hitting the summon itself with normal attacks in most cases. The heavy version in particular is crazy because attacking the Cyberman with Ki Blasts, assists, supers, hell even hitting Nappa himself will not despawn the summon. My changes for Nappa's 214 is first to make the heavy version vulnerable to beam durability attacks, and second is to make Cyberman despawn whenever Nappa gets hit by an attack for all versions. Summon characters need to have proper counterplay because the opponent is essentially fighting two characters at the same time. With Dragon Ball FighterZ being a team game, it's way harder to keep track of and counterplay summons because assists exist. Overbuffing Nappa and Cybermen is a recipe for disaster, as this meta has shown us. Number 3 on my nerf list is Jiren's 2M Normal. Jiren's 2M is vastly underrated when it comes to his kit. Everyone talks about 2L, 214H, J2H, and J2S for good reasons, but the most powerful tool in his kit, in my opinion, is 2M. Currently, 2M is a 9-frame low attack that travels half screen. The issue is that this tool allows Jiren to perform the Super Dash plus Assist 50-50 mix-up in both the corner and mid-screen. Jiren's original design was a stable, neutral defensive character that did struggle on up-close offense. But his reward for whiff-punishing neutral skips, defensive options, and some offensive sequences was decent on release, and only got better as years went on. Now we're in a situation where Jiren still has his neutral and defense tools, with the damage to one-shot anyone thanks to damage buffs, and he has offensive tools in a faster and medium-scaled starter, 2L and 2M, making him the best character in the game in my opinion. My changes to Jiren's 2M is to revert it to 13-frame startup. This would bring him back more to the original design of a neutral defensive character, because now he can't 50-50 the opponent in every situation. Jiren is the type of character that should never be overtuned, as he is not fun to play or play against. Number 4 on my nerf list is Android 17's A assist, called Reverse Gear. People have been begging for this assist to be nerfed basically since Season 3. It's wild that the devs have never changed this assist at all since 17's release. 17's A assist is a barrier with an automatic follow-up blast. The assist startup is 40 frames, with full invincibility from frame 11 to 33. The follow-up blast wall bounces on hit, and if the blast is blocked, it gives 35 frames of block stun. This is both the best defensive and one of the best offensive assists in the game. Barriers are strong in this game because they allow players to be more risky in neutral or in offensive situations. With the addition of an automatic follow-up blast, the player doesn't have to worry about properly punishing an attack when it hits the barrier. Even worse, the follow-up blast activates on whiff as well, so getting anti-aired or performing mix-ups off of it is not uncommon. My change to Android 17's A assist is to lock the follow-up blast unless it absorbs an attack from the opponent or their assist. This would get rid of the random anti-air situations and mix-up strategy of a defense assist. Even with this change, it would still be a top 10 or maybe top 5 assist, but it would be strictly a defensive tool as it should be. Number 5 on my nerf list is Krillin's 214LM, called Scattering Energy Wave, or his level 3 super. Scattering Energy Wave is a top 5 level 3 in the game, alongside Android 18's Accel Dance and Base Goku's Super Spirit Bomb. Krillin's level 3 is a beam that travels across the floor and sends a barrage of Ki Blast downward wherever the opponent is. Its damage is 4050 raw, and 1660 at maximum scaling. Also, it has frame 1 invulnerability and is plus 42 on normal grounded hit. The level 3 is top 5 because of 3 main factors. First, whenever the barrage of Ki Blast hits the ground, it creates lots of visual clutter so that any mix-up coming afterward is impossible to predict. Second is that the barrage also travels anywhere the opponent is, meaning that in special team comps, you can have the opponent suspended in the air or on the ground so that when the barrage comes down, you're even more plus than 42, or you can change the knockdown point in mid-screen scenarios. Third, with the ability to steal the corner with 236H, the mix-up game in the corner is truly a nightmare. My change to Scattering Energy Wave is reducing the frame advantage on hit from 42 to 28. Making it plus 28 reduces the opportunity for a 236H shenanigans, as the dash forward version has 35 frames of recovery. But 28 frames is still enough for mid-screen pressure, corner safe jumps, and the special team comps that allow higher than normal knockdown Oki will still be available, but you'll have to reduce your damage to do so. Special team comps like Krillin Videl, Krillin Vegeta, and Krillin Super Saiyan Goku use this scattering energy wave perfectly, so the opportunity for mix-ups is still available if properly used. That is my top 5 nerfs for this video. If you have any opinions on this list, please comment down below and share. With the nerfs out of the way, let's get into the buffs. Number 1 on my buff list is Trunks' 214S called Change the Future. I am probably the biggest Trunks advocate in the community. Everyone says Trunks is bad, unplayable, sucks, and many more synonyms. But he's probably the strongest underrated character in the game. He has great neutral tools, the best mobility in the game rivaling Zamasu, and has a great assist spread. His only issue at this point is vanish and assist hit confirms from particularly Change the Future. Change the Future is a projectile that covers nearly 50% of the screen. It has 19 frame startup, causes cinematic wall bounce on close hit, can be cancelled into a fake out dash, and is safe on block. My change is to increase the hit stun of 214S on cinematic and non-cinematic hits, similar to the universal beam hit stun changes of recent patches. The advantage of doing this is being able to use assist and vanish to confirm hits in neutral more often, making neutral feel more consistent. Neutral control is one of Trunks' biggest assets, and making him stronger will provide a smoother experience in that playstyle. Number 2 on my buff list is Bardock's 214LM, called Revenge Assault, or his level 3 super. Bardock's level 3 has had a rocky lifespan. On release, it was undisputably the best level 3 in the game, with a unique property outside of underdeveloped characters like Android 18, Gotenks, and Krillin, had perfect Oki knockdown time and distance to set up a universal 4-way mix-up. Currently, Revenge Assault is way weaker than previously. Things that stay the same are the damage at 4,248 raw and 1,718 maximum scaled. It's usable on the ground and in the air, and is frame 1 invincible. What changed is the knockdown distance. Right now, the opponent is sent nearly full screen on hit, and in the corner, they even pushed him back farther. My change is to bring back what it was back in Season 1. At this point in the meta, there are so many overpowered level 3 mix-ups like Android 18, Krillin, Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and many more, to the point where Bardock's level 3 Oki in Season 1 is just the standard in the current game. Even if it's still overpowered, at least Bardock can bring more value to a team, as he's not a battery character, his assists are just okay, and his tag synergy is very mediocre. Being a team player in a team game is very important, so being able to support a team, whether it's on point, assist, or using the tag system, will dramatically improve your viability. Number 3 on my buff list is UI Goku's 5S and JS normals. This projectile is an unfortunate case of poor character design. Let's talk about pros and cons. Pros: when it hits, it performs 3 extra hits and wall splats. It destroys Super Dash and jails into Vanish. Cons: slow startup at 5S being 21 frames and JS being 17 frames. It heavily scales hit stun and combos. And worst of all, it clashes with low priority key blasts. My change is to give it true beam properties, similar to Trunks' 5S and JS. Being able to destroy low priority key blasts with characters like Super Baby 2, Base Vegeta, and Beerus running around is a great tool to have, especially since it's a one-button input. UI Goku probably needs more than this to be meta relevant, but it's a good first step, as he should have gotten this buff way earlier, since the major power creep in projectiles really hurt him in the long run. Number 4 on my buff list is Broly's 5S Normal. Broly's 5S is probably the most unique 5S in the game, with lots of great qualities. Broly's 5S is a 13-frame startup projectile that is bigger than Android 21's 236 projectile. It can be used 6 times in a row, destroys low priority ki blasts, and can be aimed upwards to deal with jumping opponents. The problem is that in previous versions of the game, Broly was able to safely end his pressure late into the sequence with 5S, as it was safe on block. The reason why is because all of his normals outside of 5L and 2L aren't safe, so 5S was Broly's only option. Now, with recovery that leaves him -9 on block, any normal outside of heavy can punish Broly up close easily. My change is to revert it to -3 on block. This will fix his issue of not being able to end his pressure while also enabling his strike throw playstyle. A character like Broly needs to be able to mentally stack pressure strings and throws to win in close combat, but if he can't reset pressure, then the mix-up of strike throw is greatly weaker. The 5S change seems small, but is crucial to a character like Broly. Number 5 on my buff list is Android 21's 214LM called Sweet Tooth, or her level 3 super. This level 3 was one of the most complained about supers in Season 3. Like Bardock in Season 1, it had the perfect knockdown time and distance for a 4-way mix-up, with the bonus of getting all your steals. Sweet Tooth is a full-screen projectile that does 3,803 damage raw and 1,521 at maximum scaling. It heals 500 blue health, fills all your steal slots, and is frame 1 invincible. Instead of moving the opponent farther, like the nerf to Bardock's level 3, the devs nerfed the knockdown time. Currently, Sweet Tooth is only +18 on hit. That's not enough time to even safe jump, but she can meaty wake up options, though it is more risky. My change is to increase the health heal to 1,600, also including normal health, and the ability to choose what steals you get. Slot 1 will be square, slot 2 will be triangle, slot 3 will be circle, and slot 4 will be X. This will help her Oki, as the heal will help her be more durable in a game where 2-touch scenarios are common, and the slot selection will help her as well, because she will have access to both her steals and her command grab for pressure and combos. Pre-nerf Sweet Tooth was a top 5 level 3 in the game, but I don't think it was overpowering, especially because of how the game would end up after it got nerfed. I think my idea is a unique change that wouldn't 100% solve the issue, but adds another use outside of just giving her mix back. In conclusion, with the vast number of characters in Dragon Ball FighterZ, this small list is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to putting this game into more of a healthy state. I, and the Dragon Ball FighterZ community, do want certain changes for the game, but the final decision comes down to Hiroki and her team. Do I think these changes will completely save the game? Maybe, but the devs will need to properly balance the characters to make the game fun again for the majority of players. With all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, please support the channel by hitting the like and subscribe button. Remember to check out my links in the description, especially my Twitter, Discord, and playlists. That's all I have for today, so have a good evening everyone, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Sayonara.